Hello viewers, mornings, another beautiful day. Yeah, hope your five senses work, health and strength is good. Or, excellent. Alright. I got something for you guys. Listen to this. Crowstrike reveals final report on July botch update with plans to prevent those issues. Says your cybersecurity firm Crowstrike has now posted the final root cause analysis RCA report about faulty update for its service that was released on July 19. The botch update ended up bringing down millions of Windows PC worldwide and causing a lot of issues for people and companies for a number of days afterwards. In the report posted on the company's Falcon content remediation and guidance site, Crowstrike offers a quick summary of what happened. It actually began in February when the company stated it added a new sensor capability to enable visibility into possible novel attack techniques that may abuse certain Windows mechanism. The company released successful update during the year until July, Crowstrike stated. On July 19th, 2024, a rapid response content update was delivered to certain Windows hosts, evolving the new capabilities first released in February 2024. The sensor expected 20 input fields, while the update provided 21 input fields. In this instance, the mismatch resulted in an out-of-bound memory read, causing a system crash. Our analysis, together with a third-party review, confirmed this bug is not exploitable by a threat actor. It says here, the full report goes into far more detail on what Crowstrike stated happened with the update. It also reveals how the company is fixing the issue. In a separate part of the review, the company CEO George Kurtz said as of July 29th, 99% of Windows sensors were back online. He added, "We are deeply sorry for the impact this had on you. Nothing is more important than regaining your trust and confidence. Since our founding, we have always put customers' protection at the forefront. This has been our North Star, and it continues to be our focus every single day." The report also offers Crowstrike plans for keeping something like this from happening again. They include updating its content configuration system, test procedures, and adding more deployment layer and acceptance checks for that system. It will also give its customer more control over how those updates are deployed on their Windows PC. Crowstrike will be hiring 2 independent third-party software security vendors that will look into their sensor code along with their quality control and update plans. There's no word on when these inspection will be completed. And how many comments here? Comment section. How many we got? How many comments we got? 9. CCL said this. This is like basic out of bounds array list error, which a first sem student would know how to debug. Should have been captured in testing for sure. I really hope this people get sued and lose big. And then Rosie said this. From what I gathered, they added new templates type for name pipes. In February, they didn't have full unit tests to exercise every code path, something they seem to have had for older template types. Then it says, sadly, this is an especially easy error to make with new code, and it's why looking at test code coverage is so important. Anyway, and then Becker said this. Would know how to debug being the key here. From Feb until now, there was no failure to debug. One truth in software is that bugs which haven't caused any problems so far are very hard to detect. And then he says, having said that, unchecked buffers are responsible for some of the worst software vulnerabilities in history. A security company should be looking at their own code more closely, especially when it runs as a kernel module. Facts. And then Mr. Reister said this: it's not like even basic debugging would be required to find this issue, just the most rudimentary of testing. If they had put the update on even one single Windows PC before pushing it to million, they would have known about it. All this proves is that they didn't test this update on a single machine before it was rolled out. Quite shocking, actually. And then Leon said this: so this was caused because some code wasn't written to check for the input size before accepting it. Input sanitization safety 101 here, guys. Always check the input size. Doesn't exceed destination buffer size before accepting it. What he said: if parentheses input size quote destination size close parentheses and then a bracket, then slash okay bracket else bracket slash not okay bracket. Look, I tried to write the only programming code I know how to write is a hello world, and that's it. But anyway, Becker said this: yep, I remember in the late 90s and early 2000s we had unchecked buffer flaws discovered by few months, which finally led up to the blaster virus. Microsoft finally decided to start focusing on security, and they did a lot of cleanup their mess over the next few years. Here we are over 20 years later, and some still have not learned that lesson. Then Astra said this: so the big question is whether the lawyers will be able to convince a judge that Crowstrike incompetence qualify as negligence. Well, at least get a good glimpse at how far company T&C stands in legal eyes when they cause massive money loss for their customers. And then Iraq said this: a system is not defined by its rules, but by its exceptions. And then last comment, then Alfan said this: wouldn't a static analyzer have caught that kind of error? I don't have any experience with kernel side development for Windows, but I would expect such tools to work in those cases as well, and then to have at least one integrated in their CI pipeline. I suppose in a complex enough code base it would be more challenging, but it's not like we're pressed for options these days. PSV Studio Clan Sonars. Anyway, look like a bunch of coders and programmers talking here. Well, in the world of cybersecurity, things happen. Even when you try to prevent them from happening, they happen. Some things are incompatible with some files. Some code is incompatible with other files. And things happen. But it all comes down to how do you respond to this? And by the look of it, Crowstrike was they are on it, so they didn't turn a blind eye. They responded. So in a world of cybersecurity or network security, you have to always be ready. Because disaster strikes. And when disaster strikes, it's how you go about responding to it versus doing all this yelling and screaming and all that. It's how you respond. And that will show your growth and your maturity in any given situation. So when it comes to cybersecurity, so they're on it. So they're hiring independent security firms to help out. Yeah, the more hands, the better. So to triple check, double check, quadruple check. Before deploying some type of update. So yeah, good on their part. So at least if something like this comes up again, they can tackle the problem. If something like this comes up again, they can tackle the problem right then and there. So and some of this is also a human error too. Because we're imperfect humans. So humans are always going to make mistakes. So yeah, it's the world we live in. Anyway, they're on it, and they gave their little report, and that's that. Anyway, I'm gonna leave this video for y'all to enjoy though. Nice talking to you people again. Chris, still Star Wars, Star Trek fan, Borg, Dark Side. Come. Peace.